Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at the Osee GoStream Duet and Central Control. If you're not sure what the Osee Duet is, it is this fantastic 4-channel mini vision mixer that has both SDI and HDMI inputs. It has a massive feature list, and quite how they do it for the money, I do not know. So we're going to be looking at that and central control. And if you don't know what central control is the Swiss Army knife of audio and video production. It has loads and loads of stuff in there. Too many features to go on about. But one of its core purposes is to allow you to use hundreds of different control surfaces and devices to control probably thousands of pieces of hardware and software. So we're going to be talking about those two things. I got very excited about my Osee and asked the guys at Central Control if they could put together a module, and I'm very lucky that a short time later they sent me a pre-release of the software, which I tell you now is pretty cool. So I thought today I'd go through some of the stuff with you. Now I was going to do this in one video, but there's so much stuff in there it ain't all going to fit. So today we're just going to have a look at what you can do with audio with Central Control and the Osee. So if you look at your screen, we've got the Osee software mixer, so you can see what's going on. A couple of cheap MIDI controllers, the Osee multi-view, and the central control window. If I talk a little bit about these controllers, up the top here we have the mighty Plugger Studio. These things are available on Amazon and eBay. They're sometimes under different names. This is called a Plugger Studio. I think one of them might be called a Wordle or World. I don't know, something like that. Have a look at the picture, you'll see. And then underneath that we have got the Korg Nano Control 2. So if we start off with the mighty Plugger, this is going to be quite hard for me to demonstrate because I've got to do it in a sort of bit of a weird candid way. But the Plugger has 8 channels and an extra one on the end, which is labeled as V, which I'm assuming is sort of like supposed to be for master volume. So if I move that and you look at the Osee software, you can see that that controls that beautifully, and we can move that up and down nice and smoothly. If we come over to channel 1, if I push the button at the bottom here, you can see that it is turning the channel on and off. If we twiddle the knob at the top, you can see that that operates the master gain on input 1. And if we push the fader up, you can see that we have control over that, and you can see some audio coming in and out as I fade that up and down on channel 1. And then just cause this controller's got this weird sideways fader here. So I set that up so it controls the headphone output. So whatever you're listening to in your headphones, that just controls that independently. So I could have put any kind of fader control on any of the faders and any of the knobs and any of the buttons. How much control you have very much depends on the panel that you have. For example, this Plugger, these transport controls down the bottom here are sort of like hardwired to the Plugger itself and aren't assignable, which is a little bit disappointing. If we move down to the Korg Nano Control, now these controls down here are assignable, but I'm going to tease you and not mention that today. If we look at channel 1 here, if I push the fader up, you'll see that just like the Plugger, that's controlling our master fader for input 1. We've got a few more buttons to play with here. So if I push the R button, you'll see that it engages audio follow video. And if I push the M button, it turns the channel on and off. Now, if you look, you can see that these buttons toggle, but quite a nice feature is that if you have one selected and hit the other one, it will automatically deselect it. Just to demonstrate something, the rotary knob at the top here, whereas on the plugger it was set up to do gain, here, if you look at the Osee software, you can see that I've actually set it up to do the balance. And obviously you can configure these however you want. And then finally, the S button here, what that does is that selects what you're listening to or isolating or soloing in your headphones. So if you look at the Osee software and you look at the headphone monitor at the moment, it says source, you're listening to program. If I push the S for input 1, you'll see it changes to input 1, and now you're just listening to input 1, and that's exactly like the solo you'd get on a sound desk. And then if I want to go back to master program on this particular controller, I've set that up on channel 8. If I just push the S there, and now we're listening back to program. So there you have it. A very quick whirlwind view of what you can do with central control and the Osee Duet. Couple of things before I wrap up. Just to remind you, none of this is macros. These are all direct commands within central control. And although I'm using these audio MIDI controllers, the push buttons could be on a separate controller. They could be on a Stream Rec or something like that. So that's it for the audio. I hope you found that interesting. I don't know what I'll have a look at next, but time allowing, maybe we'll have a look at some inputs and routing stuff. But if you're anything like me, this is very exciting. If you're a central control user already, you'll be quite excited about this. If you're new to it, there is a free trial on the website, I believe. So go and have a look at that, and hopefully I will catch up with you soon. Laters.